it's your boy Red. I'm just gonna talk about Valkyria. I can't even always say this name fucked up. Valkyrian Chronicles. Hopefully I said it right. Valkyrian Chronicles. Yes. Let me check. Valkyrian Chronicles. It just sounds wrong when I say it. Valkyria Chronicles. There we go. The video games, right? Well, anyways, I've been playing these since the first one came out. Back, it's been a while since PS3 was still out. So, actually, to be honest with you guys, that's the only reason I bought a PS3 at the time. Xbox 360 was kicking so much ass. Now it's the opposite. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so that's really the only reason I bought a PS3. It was to play Valkyria Chronicles 1. But actually, the first one I played was the second one, Valkyria Chronicles 2, which was on the PSP. I had one. And I played it during my deployment, and I fucking loved the second one. But I already knew I was gonna love the series, so I went back and played the first one. I fucking love it, and now I have the fourth one that I just came out, not like last week, but I haven't been busy. I've been playing it, so I'm gonna play it now. And I decided, you know what? Let me do a video on all the games, right, and tell you guys about them, so people who are just getting into it can get into it right now. The first one's available on consoles and PC. The second one's still just portable, I think, PSP. The third one's also a PSP, but exclusive only in Japan. And the Revolutions was basically a fucking, what do you call those? Not part of the main storyline, I guess, is on console. And then the fourth one's on PC and console. So, there you go. Great games, man. Well, they're all different in their own way. So, I'll just go through individually each one of them. Of course, starting with the first one. Like I said, it wasn't the first one I played. But I went back and I loved the first one either way. It doesn't matter, right? Basically, the story is the country that's being invaded by the Empire. It's a country stuck between two fronts. You have the Eastern Federation and the Empire coming. They invade the country. I forget the name of it. They invade this country, and it's up to you and your militia to basically repel the Empire. The reason they invaded is to get Ragnas, basically a very resource that everyone needs for the war machine to keep going. The whole power thing with the Valkyrie comes into play in the game better than it does in the anime adaptation for this, actually. There's an anime of this if you want to see that. It's similar in many ways, though very different in other ways. And you guys will notice if you play the game and the anime. The DLC was pretty amazing for the first game. I actually love it. It touched on a character who was it wasn't really focused on in both the anime and the game itself, which is one of the generals, the Valkyrie for the Empire side. I love that DLC, and I kind of wish it would have gone further, but you guys will know if you play the game what happens. Still a great game though, the first one, especially it touches on some of the Squad 7's other members, but not a lot. That's one thing that I felt that it fell short on, was it didn't touch on all the other squad members. Luckily, the second game takes care of that problem for us, Valkyria Chronicles. This game takes place, I want to say a year plus after the events of the first game. So after the war ended, we get students going to the academy to learn how to fight, basically defend their country, since the main army was almost obliterated in the first war, in the previous war, the second war. So the students are basically defending part of the country. They're definitely defending against, some leftover army, people, and especially this internal civil war, because of what happens is the queen reveals herself to be a Darkson. And if I forgot to mention, Darksons are basically no-nos in this world. They're basically outcasts in a way. They're looked down upon by everyone else. You can tell who the Darkson is. They have black eyes, black hair. That's really the simple as you can tell. In this one though, we focus not only on our main characters, I think his name was Van and the rest of them, but we also focus on his classmates, which is great. We get to see side stories. Actually, it expands a lot in this game compared to the first game. We even get new class systems, more equipment for tanks, more equipment for our soldiers. We even get medics that we can actually use instead of just having little cutscenes like we did in the first one. It was amazing. I loved it. I can't believe they included all this on the PSP. I was surprised when I didn't see any of this in the first game. The main story was a little weaker than the first game, I'll admit that. But the other missions, side missions, made up for it. The new class system, even the characters, like I said, it was a new game basically, and it was great, and it ran great in the PSP, and I was impressed. Hopefully they remaster this and make it into the PC or something, man. It was just that great of a game. The next one was also a portable game. I actually never played this one. It was only released in Japan, I believe, but you could get it, imports and stuff like that. It basically takes place during some of the events of the first game. So it was during the Second War, where a super elite, basically criminal unit for Gallia, the army that you play as in the first one, are sent into secret missions, and they do some secret shit during the events. From the first characters are doing their own stuff, these guys are doing something separately. It's kind of like a side-by-side story. Though, like I said, I never played it myself. I heard it was really good. Especially some of these characters are insane. Some of them have Valkyria blood in them as well. Others have some pretty unique guns. I heard it has some pretty cool shit. Like I said, I never played it, but from what you get the gist of it, they are basically a Suicide Squad in a way. The higher ups don't really care if these guys die or not. So they're sending the most dangerous shit during the war. So that's pretty epic shit right there. Valkyria Revolution was a console game. You could play it on PS4, I believe. Yeah, it just came out not that long ago. I actually wanted to play it and buy it. It looks interesting, though. This is a total spin-off, I heard. It has nothing to do with any of the other characters, any of the storylines, anything like that at all. But it looks interesting nonetheless, and I heard great things about it. So I might come back and check on that, but I just didn't feel like playing on my console, my PS4. But yeah, I might as well, since I'm possibly be playing Spider-Man. So, but yeah, it takes place during I forget what timeline. From what I'm reading and understanding, this takes place 10 years before the war. I don't know if it's the Second War or the First World War, because there is two, just like in our world. It's just take place closer together than in our reality. But I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played it yet, so I might pick it up and check it out for you guys or whatever. And of course, the last one, the run that just came out that I'm gonna play right now, is Valkyria Chronicles 4. My understanding is this takes place in the same timeline as the first game, though we're looking at the Eastern Front. Not the Western Front. Would it be the West? The Western Front. My bad. Whatever front the East the Alliance is on, or whatever they're called. Basically, you're playing as those guys. We didn't get to see much of them in the first or second game. Well, a little bit. They were pretty much assholes. They're the Federation, whatever they're called. They're the ones that are basically trying to help us fight the Empire because they're against the Empire. But they're kind of still assholes. So this takes place on that, and we play as those characters and see what they did during the war. And I've always been interested to find out what they did, because from what I heard, they were getting their asses kicked a lot by the Empire. But we'll find out as soon as I play the game. But yeah, those are all the games, the main ones. There's one more that was a mobile, but it doesn't really matter, right? I don't play mobile games as much. But for those of you that are interested in playing these games, these are fucking amazing games. The turn system, the customization of characters, the equipment, stuff like that. The tanks are pretty fucking badass, actually. But yeah, I love these games, man. I can't wait to play number 4 right now and review it for you guys. But yeah, this is my take on all the Valkyria Chronicle games. Hopefully you guys like this video. But yeah, I'm just cranking out videos right now because they're the only days off I have. But hey, thanks for watching. Hit that like, hit that sub, and I'll catch you guys next time.